Me good.
Yes.
We are live from Rocky Top,
Knoxville.
broadcasting from Knoxville. Joey's via satellite
Winterfell.
in Hamilton, in Winterville. So, what do you think about any other thoughts, Joey?
How was the Kanye show?
Well, it was amazing.
I know we left off with you were going to the Kanye show.
That was
Now I know you of the Kanye show.
that was the cliffhanger. It was crazy. So I walked in to the Bridgestone Arena. We walked down, found our way down to the floor because we were on the floor. And I asked the guy that was taking my ticket, "Hey, where do we need to post up? Where's the stage going to be posted up at?" And he said, "Dude, it moves everywhere." And I said, "Oh my God." I guess I hadn't looked into it that much, but I didn't realize it was like a moving, floating around stage. I thought it was floating above the audience, but it was stationary.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why it was like. I mean, there wasn't a bad seat in the whole place. I mean, even if you were like not on the floor, I mean, people were at eye level with him, and it was moving close to the sides. I'm sure.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That thing was awesome. That was just like I'm speechless.
Speechless.
It was like he's just a genius that he just came up with this show. It's like watching like the Blue Man Group or something.
Yeah.
That you're just like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's more than a
Not
concert.
even about his music anymore. I mean, his music is the soundtrack to it, but it's like he's just
the visual experience.
He's strapped into that thing. His back is strapped into that thing, and he's walking around, and he just goes crazy. Most of the time he's walking around just staring at the audience, like, and smiling and like holding up his hands. And every now and then he spazzes out and does his little Kanye dance.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy. It would tilt down and he would come walking down. That's how it was in Wolves.
Oh, that's tight.
And then during Fade, it was like there's like a million red lasers. And he holds his hands out like Jesus on the cross and makes this huge wet through the whole stadium.
Jesus.
So he did like every song from Pablo just about. He didn't do No More Parties in LA. Trying to think. He did most of everything else I can think of right now. When he did Famous, he rewound the part about Taylor Swift about 3 or 4 times. Because he was like, "We're in Nashville and this is hip hop."
Yeah. And I'm sure everybody that was at that concert from Nashville were the type of people who loved that.
They loved it because he wasn't singing the "I made that bitch famous" part. He would sing the lead up and let the crowd sing, and every time he did it, it would get louder. Everybody go crazy. Like that floating stage was so crazy. You would be anybody who was directly under it was in a spotlight, and they would just go absolutely batshit insane directly under the platform. Me and Nikki were kind of on the side so we kind of just watched it go back and forth, and it got really close to us when it was in the middle.
Yeah.
But then you could, like, the whole floor was open. The whole, like, hockey rink size floor was open for everybody that was in there to move around. So everybody's running back and forth. There was a lot of room.
That's awesome.
It was great.
That's so awesome.
And it was like that was the cheapest ticket you could get on the day before the concert when we got our tickets. Because all the seated tickets were pretty much sold out and they were going for resale for way more than what the floor seats were going for.
Right.
Because I guess you don't have a seat, but it was awesome. Sure you watched those Snapchats?
Yeah, that was some good work on Snapchat, Tyler. I like watching. Concerts are really cool on Snapchat for me because first of all, I don't like all the music that people Snapchat to me, so I don't want to see more than 10 seconds of it at a time. But, it's just enough to give you an idea of what, I had an idea of what that show was like. From your, I mean, and, I'm a concert junkie. I love that shit. So, that's pretty, and you did good there. That was good stuff. Got to document those things, especially stuff like that. So he did the whole album pretty much besides No More Parties in LA.
That's the only one I can think of right now that he didn't do. I'm trying to think of all the songs. He did Feedback. He did Famous.
Was it pretty much the standard? Was it pretty much the standard? He did the best verse in each song and then kept it moving.
Kinda. I feel like he did the whole song for most of them. But like with Kanye, he gets so many guest appearances that he has to do that in concerts anyway. So it complicates all his songs by just the guests leaving.
Yeah.
Because like Ultralight Beam ended the show. And he just walks off, but it's just that slow first part of Kanye and it only lasts for a few seconds. Then he did he did probably the biggest song from every album and maybe a few extras on some albums. He did Jesus. He did All of the Lights. He did Power. He did Flashing Lights. He did Good Life. Jesus Walks was the only college dropout song he did. He did Touch the Sky. That was. I'm trying to think if he did. He definitely didn't do Gold Digger. He did Touch the Sky was the only song he did from Late Registration.
And rightly so.
Rightly so.
I mean, what I'm saying is if you're only going to do one, that's the one. That's such a good concert song.
Yeah. He does. That was kind of a.
So how many total songs do you think he played or played a little bit of?
I think I heard it was 30.
See, that's so great about it. And that's something that rappers do or started. And it's kind of genius because it's like, okay, yeah, I really do just want to hear the best verse from this song. You go to these rock concerts or other concerts and you always leave and you're like, man, I really wish he would have played this.
Yeah.
Or the band or whatever. But you don't feel that way when you leave Kanye's or rapper because he played 30 songs. So he probably played pretty much everything you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And the best parts of the songs you wanted to hear.
Yeah. And I could go through and say, I wish you would have played this song or whatever. But there's only a handful of songs I haven't seen Kanye play in concert because.
Right. And it's unfair to say that with Kanye. Because you're such a big fan of his, and we are.
Yeah.
That you want to if Kanye came out and said, "I'm going to do a tour where I'm going to have a 7-hour concert and play every song," we would probably buy a ticket.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's gonna do this was obviously this was all about Life of Pablo because he did most everything from it.
Yeah, it was the St. Pablo tour.
He's gonna get to where he's taking years off between albums, and he's gonna do weird shows that just play random songs. I feel
Yeah.
like he's gonna get to that stage. Like, I mean, like any of these classic rock guys, you always hear, "Oh my God, Bruce Springsteen played whatever some song off of Nebraska that he never has ever played in concert."
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
they're bored because they've been doing concerts for 40 years. So eventually, I feel like if I just keep going to see Kanye till I die, or till he, hopefully he dies before me. But I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
Good stuff.
Get in some recaps.
Let's get in some recaps, Tyler.
Or did you want to talk about Rocky Top robbing you of 5 hundo this weekend?
I mean, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I think it's the baddest beat I've ever taken, and it's not because it's necessarily the craziest beat, but I was so sure of that bet, Tyler. It's why I bet so much money.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that UT wins by 10 points.
I was happy.
Two
That
and
was
a half
probably
hours. For 2.5 hours, I walked with a real wide stance because I thought I had it made. I kid you not, when I walked in the door getting home from work, the very first play I saw when I turned on the TV was that long touchdown to that who the fuck knows receiver that made it 31-17 or 31-21. I was like, what happened? I mean, I didn't listen to it on the radio on the way home. When I left work, it was 21-10, I think. No. Yeah.
well, that was the happiest I've ever been for a UT win, I think, for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Not because you lost the money. I'm sad that you lost a bunch of money. But,
Sure.
but because you were so arrogant about it. You were jinxing it on purpose during the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then because I heard in the middle of UT's comeback that John had left at halftime, left Neyland Stadium.
You know,
Biggest sports event in UT history since 1998. No,
yeah, it really
undoubtedly.
yeah. Man, when I heard that, I'm going to be honest, I felt bad because I knew how fucking mad he probably was. But, I mean, you know what had to, I mean, I haven't gotten a story. I haven't talked to John. But I just picture, like, Ross just like, man, we need to get the hell out of here and go eat a bunch of food or something. And John's just mad, and he's like, fuck it, yeah, whatever, let's go.
So you think he was instigated?
I think he had to have been instigated. I can't imagine John in that situation just leaving on his own. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that happened, which makes it worse.
I mean, I have seen him I mean, I've left with him at a bunch of games that UT's been down by a bunch. And they ended up losing, and we were both at the bar, and John was like, "See, I told you."
Not this time.
That's hilarious, though. I can't believe he missed that.
Better luck next time, John.
I told Doc about it, and I said, heard John left Nealon at halftime. Sounds like your kind of move. And Doc said, I like that move. Go Commodores.
I like that move. So Tyler, let's jump right into these recaps with the highest total score between two teams in a matchup this week. I mean, I don't know who predicted this. I doubt anybody did. Feels like 98 with the high score of the week against Brad Reputation, 196 to 181.
What about it? Cell 16. Man, it feels like 98 in fantasy and in real life right now.
He's whipping ass.
He's whipping ass. Is Gupton going to get credit for this UT Vols season if they go on to win the national championship?
I mean, I feel like I would allow him to take credit for it if he also wins the championship.
I will definitely allow him to take credit for it if he wins the fantasy championship.
I mean,
So,
the guys on his team are like, Ezekiel Elliott looked great this week. I mean, what if Jeremy Hill decides to be what he was?
yeah.
I mean, Marvin Jones
is leading the league in receiving yards right now.
Boom, baby.
Marvin Jones, just a great keep by. Did he have him? I guess he had him before when he was on the Bengals.
Yeah, I think he did.
Who knew? Like, that never works out. Like the second string guy who goes on to another team to be the main dude. Not second string, but number 2 guy going to become the main guy on another. Yeah. Like TJ Hushmanzula did it one year.
But yeah, he's just had, I mean, the games he's won, he's had really, I mean, Marvin Jones went out of his mind, but I mean, top to bottom, he's had good, I mean, Steve Smith still just being a son of a bitch.
Just being a son of a bitch. What about Darren Sproles in the flex?
Yeah, I love this little box score on the app that says -1 yards, received 24 points.
Oh my God.
CJ Mosley, Jefferson. What's Jefferson's rank? Give me Jefferson's rank.
He's number 1, dude.
Number 1 DB.
Number 1 DB.
9 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble. That guy's getting it, and Gupton's got him.
Like, we came into the season saying Gupton's got the defense.
No, we did. You're right.
Was Zeke Stakes worth it? What if Zeke Stakes is worth it?
Well, it would kind of fit into what we've always said, wouldn't it? Which is you gotta do what you gotta do to get good players.
You gotta bring the big bucks.
I mean, exactly. I mean, everybody agrees. Like, I feel like it'd be more of a, if one of us got him, but that's what Gupton had to do. I thought that's what Gupton had to do. That's what everybody said. That's what I said before. I said, if I'm Adam or Gupton, you have to get Zeke. Like, there's no – and he did it. And it's working out. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. It worked out last year with Gurley. And
yeah, exactly.
So that –
I mean –
So that increased. The number 1 running back went from $30 last year with Gurley to $194.
I mean, it's gonna be the new.
Go ahead.
That's gonna be the new going rate for the top draft picks. I don't know if it'll get that insane, but Yeah, I do actually. I mean, look at the running backs that are coming out next year. I mean, it'll decrease availability of, there'll be more, but I mean, I still think it's going to stay around 100 to get the top tier guys. I mean, I think that's the new norm with unlimited keepers.
Yeah, I think I think this is just going to keep on skyrocketing. I'm expecting Dalvin Cook to go for 19,000 troop bucks next year.
By Faulkner, because if there's somebody that figures out how to have 19,000 troop bucks, it'll be Tyler Faulkner.
J. Tyler Faulkner. Wow, Gupton, what a story.
Hey, I just now noticed this. I mean, he had Bruce Arians that lost the game to Buffalo this week. I mean, that puts him over 200 if Arians wins that game.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, by the way, did I call that or did I call that? I knew Buffalo's had something in the tank for him. But Brad, on the other side, I mean, 181, that's what, the third highest score?
Yeah. I mean,
Brad has turned in some decent performance.
He didn't slouch off.
Wow. Field goal kicker had 19 points. Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. Puslesny, Breeze, Ingram, Kyle Rudolph with a big surprise 20. All the rest of those guys in the 20s.
What about Rudolph in the flex? This two tight end set, are we missing out?
I don't think we're missing out.
Yeah, me neither. I agree.
I don't know. I'm more apt to say that was a fluke week for Brad.
I can go with that. I mean, to get 47 points out of Ingram and Breeze Monday night, I mean, I don't know how many times that's going to happen.
Yeah. He's 0-3. I don't like his chances. Let's move on.
So next up, Tyler, we got mighty Adam Young upsetting Row Tide, a mighty fine boob, the number one overall team in all the land. And the biggest story about this, Tyler, is not that the number one overall team lost, but how horrible his performance was as the number one overall team. 129 points this week. I think that's the second lowest score in the league this week.
Yep. Second lowest score, just ahead of Turb. Wow, how the mighty have fallen.
Pretty debilitating loss.
He didn't realize that this member berries joke we were making was about him saying, you remember week 1 and week 2 and how good we were those weeks? At the end of the season when he's 2-10. And Larry Fitzgerald is in the hospital. Brandon Marshall's on crutches. And Carson Palmer's in a coffin.
Remember why the Bengals moved on and drafted Andy Dalton? Remember?
But really, though, why do we keep burying Adam? We need to bring back our apology segment.
I mean, we do, but
we need to apologize.
Yeah, we do. He's dominated. I mean, we really overreacted about his loss last week, apparently.
Yeah, we were talking about him selling for the future. We need.
Yeah, we totally were. We were just like, move on, kid.
We definitely need to apologize. We are ripping off South Park references at an insane clip right now.
Well, that can only make the show better.
Yeah.
So
really narrowing
Adam,
in on our Chance Baron demographic.
So the thing about Adam that we didn't think about going into this week was how he may have landed on a little gold mine with Charles Sims and Christine Michael.
Yeah. Is it Christine or Kristen?
It's totally Kristen, but I'd say Christine every time.
Oh, okay. What's yeah, he got lucky with some injuries, but that's kind of what he was planning on as an expansion team.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what had to happen. And I mean, obviously they're not going to combine for 49 points every week because the muscle hamster will come back eventually. However, Christine Michael could hold on to that job even when Thomas Rawls comes back. I mean, if he carries him like he did, I don't know how you can give the job back to. It's not a D'Angelo Williams, Le'Veon Bell situation. I mean, Thomas Rawls isn't some established back.
Yeah.
So he could have something there with Kristen Michael. And then Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, what about Terrell Pryor?
8 catches, 144 yards receiving. He had a rushing touchdown. He threw for passing yards. Jim Thorpe out there, man.
The Jim Thorpe of the NFL. That was amazing.
I love it.
What about Terrell Pryor and Josh Gordon on two sides of the football field? How are you going to stop that, Joey?
I'll blitz the shit out of Cody Kessler is what I'm going to do. What would be harder to stop is if you just put Terrell Pryor at quarterback and stop fucking around with Cody Kessler.
I reckon a milk carton could throw to those two.
I mean, you don't have to be great. You're right.
No, they totally should just move Pryor once Gordon comes back. It'd be like a really fun team to watch. Nobody thinks the Browns are going to be any good. What are you fucking around with Cody Kessler for?
Yeah, I don't understand. Anyway, Adam also got a big performance out of Mike Thomas. Helped Willie Snead being out of the game, so I don't know how many huge games Michael Thomas will have, but
yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Michael Thomas. I mean,
yeah, I do. I mean, I do too. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know how much of the target share he'll maintain going down the road.
Yeah. Drew Brees is probably going to retire in like next year too.
Oh, that's totally something to take into account.
But I'm saying like that's not going to be this. You got to think about it. Right now, 3 receivers in the Saints offense is viable fantasy options.
Right.
Because they throw it a million times a game, and Drew Brees already has 1,000 passing yards in 3 weeks. But he's going to retire in a few years. Do you think they're going to do the same? Or you think they're going to be the same way with whoever they get?
No, I don't know.
I mean, it depends on who they get, I guess, but that's always a crapshoot.
Right. What about?
So that's just a worry about Saints receivers in the future for guys like John and Adam and John Robert.
And John Robert. Yeah, I mean, I totally think you're right. I mean, when Breeze retires, if they get some dud in there, I mean, all those guys are going to take huge hits.
Yeah.
What about a mighty fine boob sitting Emmanuel Sanders and his 32 points on the bench for Victor Cruz?
I don't know what he's thinking. Did Victor Cruz have a big week last week? Did I miss
He
something?
played okay. I mean, he didn't have a big week. I guess maybe Cincinnati's defense scared Chance. I don't know.
What did Emmanuel Sanders do? Did he have a dud? Yeah, he had 6. I don't know. Trust Victor Cruz over Emmanuel Sanders right now. But Chance has always been a wild card.
He has always been a wild card. You're right.
Is it a coincidence that Chance just got boat raced when the Mad Hatter gets fired at LSU? I don't think so. What's the next on the docket?
So, next up, we have Monster U taking a heartbreaking loss to Momo, 136 to 133.
I mean, you got to start at the end. We're going to have to Tarantino this shit.
I think it's fair to say that MU was flat out coached.
Oh! Got him.
He's just out coached.
Hey, sorry, CA. You burnt.
Yeah, Bert. So run us through the storyline. I mean, take us through what happened, how that played out.
Well, so Kirk went with the no coaching strategy this week. So he didn't have a coach lined up. He goes after Sunday's matchups. Nobody has anybody left to play. CA leads 133 to 131. CA thinks he's in the clear, but little does he know, Kirk had an extra spot on his bench.
For some,
was able to add a coach last minute. Just so happens Dan Quinn was available. That's 5 points. That's a Momo victory, 136 to 133.
I think what we saw this week, Tyler, was a Momo team grow up right before our eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty. I like that Kirk's paying attention enough to plug in a head coach there. I don't know if some other guys in this league do that.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's why I'm big on Kirk. I think he's going to get this figured out. I mean, because let's be honest. I mean, and we can do this with every game, but really, if you want to get technical, I mean, CA outcoached Kirk because Kirk left. God, I mean, so if he subs in if he plays the right linebacker and the right DB, that's 36 more points. And this isn't even a controversy.
Yeah, true. Levante David did have the donut last week. I got him cold feet. And Malcolm Smith is no slouch. That wasn't that egregious of a mistake.
No, I'm not saying it's a huge mistake. I'm just saying one team is better than the other.
Yeah. Yeah, Kirk was better last week for sure. He almost let it slip away, but he was better.
I mean, the storyline here is really CA is he's in bad shape. I mean, and it's not really like he doesn't have any bright pictures. I mean, he doesn't have I don't know. Russell Wilson is getting murdered by a franchise that apparently doesn't think it's important to protect him. Latavius Murray's, share of the touches in the backfield gets smaller every week. I saw a tweet about that today. It's gotten smaller every week. I mean, Sammy Watkins is always hurt. I mean, he just doesn't have a lot of great things going for him right now. But, I mean, he's going to have a bump when Jamal Charles starts playing. So, when I say all that, the season's not over for CA. I think he's got about as much work as anybody.
Yeah. His leading scorer this week was E-Network reality star Travis Kelce.
The coolest white guy in the NFL.
I don't know. Everybody was real scared of CA at the beginning of this year. I feel like he was a lot of people's pick to win it all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. He was hyped up.
Some might say he got too big for his britches, where I come from.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's gonna have to go back to work, go back to fantasy work, get it. I mean, he forgot what got him here. I feel like what got him here was that relentless effort of picking up every guy at 3 a.m. in the morning before anybody else could get him. The sleepers and the guys the no names who would come out and beat the hell out of you, and you'd be like, what in the fuck? Where did CA find this guy? He got caught up in the bright lights, Joey. The AJ Greens and the Dez Bryants.
Yeah, that's it. And that's exactly right. And, I'm going to just – I can't – there's at least 4 offers that I've made over the years for Dez Bryant that he's turned down that I've thought were decent offers. I mean, you're exactly right what you're saying. He's a victim of what he never used to do, which is just hold guys.
Yeah.
Need to get some turnover in that roster, CA. Get rid of some of these bags.
He's like
how long?
He's like the
how long you gonna let Sammy Watkins with a broken foot?
He's the Bizarro World Faulkner right now. He just does the opposite of Faulkner. We're telling Faulkner to stay steady on the trades. We need to pick it up. Wait, one more quick tidbit. I think I said that I predicted the Momo victory because I thought there was going to be a monster game from Aaron Rodgers and a monster game from Allen Robinson.
50 points.
Look who's leading Momo in scoring.
That's a great call, Tyler.
I'm such a good fantasy analyst.
That's a great call.
All right, moving on.
So now we've got the life of Jogo tentatively back on track against the crumbling Royale with Cheese. Actually, the Royale with Cheese squad had a better showing this week, but the life of Jogo didn't just kind of get better. How many points did you improve this week? 75?
79.
79 points this week. That's 180. I mean, that's a big week for you. So, I mean, do you think you're back? I got you down. I got you marked down as tentatively back.
I just hope that you wrote that word tentatively in pencil.
I actually, no shit, wrote it in Sharpie.
Tentatively, permanently. That's an oxymoron. You can't write the word tentatively in a permanent marker. Everybody knows.
That's so true.
What about
So, who got the game ball in the locker room after the game?
Game ball went to the fantasy offensive line and Todd Gurley for getting back on track.
Yeah, baby. Way to show them hog mollies some love.
We're real happy with Gurley. He needed a self-esteem boost.
You also got a great trash game from Stafford, which is pretty much what you were hoping for.
Dude, he is the trash king.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Like, you guys were giving me so much shit for spending $16 on him, which I could have spent $1, obviously, but
that's why we were giving you shit.
Yeah, but you didn't know that. If you were in my position, you would have thought somebody else was going after Stafford. With how quarterback crazy this league is, fucking 3 people bid on Trevor Siemian this week.
That's true.
I think Stafford's out there, and you're not going to get a bunch of bids on him. Stafford just gets so much garbage points. He's a second in the league in passing yards, I think. Second or third.
Yeah, he's top 3.
Anyways, this is going to be a reckoning. David Johnson and Gurley are back on trash. Got the trash king in Stafford. I got rookie superstar sensation and little known tidbit. His name changed this week on the fantasy website to Will Fuller the Fifth.
I just noticed that right when you were saying it.
It just happened just now this week, and so but it says Will Fuller V.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I'm so excited. He almost got the game ball just for that, even though he had a down week. I just like that I traded for Amari Cooper and he only scored 10 this week and it was still my best week. That gives me high hopes.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be optimistic about. Huge game from your boy Jamie Collins.
That's the real story. We really buried the lead. Jamie Collins is back the way he was. He's back to normal.
He does that, you're in business.
34 points. Man, I feel like the Patriots could lose all their safeties and just plug Jamie Collins in there and not miss a beat. Did you see how far downfield he was on that interception?
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
He was like 40 yards downfield, just playing like a safety. He was right, plopped in there. What about John Brown got back on track a little bit with some trash points?
Yeah, he did. He had a nice little game. Pitta did what you wanted him to do.
Everything came together this week. And I needed it because Jeff put up a good week. He put up a good showing. Not going to lie, Matty Ice had me scared for a little bit. I thought there was a major possibility he was going to score 30 in that game.
Well, if he's not hungover and doesn't start the inactive Delaney Walker, you lose.
Oh yeah, that was the deciding factor.
That was the roster fuck up of the week, maybe.
Yeah, I think that is. We'll give it to him right now.
Yeah.
What's the roster fuck up of the week sponsored by?
Tate's Automotive.
Tate's automotive roster fuck up the week goes to Jeff for benching Jimmy Graham while Delaney Walker was inactive.
Way to go, Jeff.
Oh man, what an idiot!
He had the second highest score in the league with that. Or no, would he?
He would have had, second highest scoring, I think.
Well, his wide receivers, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins only had 9, but Antonio and Demarius did what, I mean, they had 48 combined between the two. He had a pretty good week out of his defense.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good week. He had a bounce back week. Just he ran into a buzzsaw. It's coming for the rest of the Pantheon. I like starting 0-2 in this league and just having a shot to just come back when nobody's looking at you.
Well, and that's kind of the thing I've tried to avoid is historically it's better not to start hot. I mean, you know that firsthand from last year.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of got me scared.
Yeah.
Which leads right into our next game.
No,
Dungeon Family.
Have we gone through all the games yet?
Well, we got me, and then we got Rat King and McJohnay's game of the week.
We didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about Hume or Camels of Crush games.
I don't have that written down, so we either skipped it in the preparation.
I totally told you to put them on there. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
You told me we went back and put 98 versus Bateman in the review of next week.
Yeah, I probably just skipped them. Let's go to cut. Let's go to Torino. No, let's go to the shit bowl. The Sig Bowl.
Sig Bowl.
Camels of Crush versus Squad Rashad.
This was it was a shit show. Just a shit show. I asked Faulkner if he felt at all responsible for the destruction of Turb's squad. And he's claiming that Turb proposed the latest trade they had.
He proposed that?
That's what Faulkner says.
I don't know.
I think he proposed a trade, and Faulkner molded it into what it was.
Turb was my favorite expansioneer, but I did not like that trade.
It was a bad trade. Faulkner said Turb pretty. He was in talks with Las Vegas to sell the franchise.
Oh, man. What did he... So he liked Alan Hearns a lot, I guess.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I didn't get the trade at all. Bateman earlier in the week before these games even happened, right after the trade, Bateman was trying to tell me and Nate and John that Turb fleeced Faulkner. We're like, what? No.
What?
Yeah, he was. I don't know what he was trying to say on that.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I know Moncrief was hurt. You know how much I love Moncrief. I would have stashed him for sure. And I mean, on top of that, you're giving up the best linebacker in the league. And no returns. Was Devin Taylor supposed to be real good or something? And I didn't know.
No.
Oh gosh, I'm off the Turb wagon after that move. I'm jumping on the Hume wagon.
Yeah, come on, it's warm.
Hume's my new favorite expansioneer.
So we're in agreement there.
Yeah. And Bateman, don't get all high and mighty because you won this game. That was a piss poor performance from Bateman too.
He is kind of getting high and mighty.
Is he getting a little high and mighty?
Yeah, he's he thinks he's my only competition in the division.
I don't think so. Bateman.
You got a few more rungs to climb before you can take a shot at the champ, bro.
Bruh.
You don't get to spar one time and then get to step in the ring with Mike Tyson, Benjamin.
Mike Tyson. Our squad has. He's 2-1. Good for him. But he has scored 421 points.
Yeah, the proof is in the points. I mean, that's I would say he has probably one of the lowest points scored against him. Is that right?
Well, let me just. You were saying he was the biggest competition for you in House Stark. Well, he is below Torino's House Special in points by 62 points. He is also below Brad Reputation by 40 points.
Yeah.
0-3 Brad Reputation.
Yeah, so that claim's laughable. Like I said, few more rungs to climb, Ben.
He is ahead of two teams right now in scoring. Monster U and Camels of Crush.
Hooey.
Hooey. You're done, Bateman. Get out of here.
And even though he only scored 8 points this week, I mean, the team got markedly worse because D'Angelo Le'Veon's coming back this week. We'll talk about that more. But
yeah,
I mean, so that's the guy he's going to have that's going to take a huge hit.
what about Hume and Torino House Special?
This was it pretty much came down to the Monday night game, and I gotta say we need to run the numbers, but we may have prematurely given that award away, the Tate's Automotive Roster Fuck Up of the Week, because Nate had a decision to make going into Monday night. Was I going to play Mohamed Sanu or was I going to play Colby Fleener? And, I'll be completely honest, and he was texting this out with us earlier in the before the game, and I said, I feel like you got to play Sanu. So maybe I'm responsible. But, he plays Fleener instead, and get this, Hume would have won 153.5 to 153.
Ouch.
That hurt.
That hurts. Definitely not roster fuck up of the week, though, compared to Jeff, because Jeff's was an inactive versus Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, that's totally true. At least Nate just made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Jeff didn't have a choice. He's just retarded.
He's retarded. Oh, man. The Hume goes down. T was undefeated going into this. So how about John Robert wins this game handily, has Willie Snead a late scrap, couldn't do anything about it without dropping him. Also, Kelvin Benjamin puts up a donut.
Yeah,
2 donuts.
153 with both of those guys scoring nothing.
Torino's is the real deal, fellas.
Yeah, I think he's got a good squad. Tevin with 29.
Cam only had 12 this game. Scary. And Gio had 8. I mean, he's going to be a good team. We've got a good squad over there at Torino's.
He does. He definitely does.
They got a good manicotti over there at Torino's too. Ain't that right, John? So, what do you want to say about Hume? Do you think he'll bounce back? You're not ready to bury him yet, right?
No, I mean, Roethlisberger had a terrible game. You know, his running backs did terrible. I don't think he has that bad of a week every week. Now, I don't. He may not be. He may not be the contender that we kind of were trying to hype him up to be. But nothing changes about. I still think he's got a really bright team for the future. And I think he will win some more games for sure.
Crowell and Roethlisberger are going to be steadier than that. That was bad, just fluke week for both of them. And Ogletree had a mediocre week. Only had 16, but he could still wind up being the best linebacker in the league.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. Leonard Williams was a damn good pickup at D line. Mofo hasn't scored under double digits yet this season. Scored triple digits this week if you count the decimal. Let's hit up the undercard, Joey.
Not much to talk about here.
Not much to talk about from the family versus the favorite.
Now, to be honest, there was a good portion of the day Sunday where I thought I was going to lose this game.
I feel like that's such like fantasy coach speak. That's what everybody says after they win. There's a good portion of the day where I thought I was doomed. But then my team scored 7 touchdowns and I'm all right.
I had it just worked out where I had a miserable for my noon game guys, and the 3 o'clock guys just brought the fucking heat. Mike Evans and T.Y. Hilton combined for 60 points. Mike Evans is now the number 2 receiver in the league. Hunter Henry worked out real nice for me. He got me 12, which is all I was really hoping for. I mean, that's more than Charles Clay scored, I think, all year. Shazier kind of had a bad game, but so did my linebacker on the bench, so I didn't really have any help. Cox finally was Fletcher Cox.
Cox was Cox.
Went beast mode with 21. So between those guys, I picked up 81. Between those 3 players, I picked up 81 points. I had the 3 o'clock game, so that really changed things. But I heard watching my beloved War Boys, Luke Kuechly and Rashad Jones, just murder me.
Just murder you and get murdered. I thought you were going to say it hurt you to see them on such a piss poor team.
Well, it does hurt me to see that, too. I'm sorry that y'all had to go and live through what you're living through right now. I really wanted them to be a part of the championship experience.
How does it feel to be the only undefeated team in Pantheon right now?
Well, it feels great, but it goes back to what we were talking about. I mean, maybe you don't want to be the guy that starts hot, but
Oh, that's so gay.
Well, the thing is, this ain't no goddamn fluke, Tyler. I'm the number one scoring team in the fucking league, too, okay? So I'm real good. I'm real damn good.
Real damn good.
So don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to be humble. It's hard to be humble when you're stunting on the Jumbotron. Anyway, and the thing is my players right now are going through the toughest matchups of the whole week or their whole season.
Their whole careers.
So I think it's going to be. I think we're going to get better. And guess who's walking through that fucking door this week? Le'Veon Bell. Helps.
Holy Le'Veon Jello kneecaps.
Yeah, well, we'll just hope for the best.
Man, I'd probably just roll with D'Angelo Williams if I was the Steelers. If I was Mike Tomlin. Why mess up a good thing,
I don't know. They just scored 3 points against the Bengals.
Well, Faulkner was wheeling and dealing this week. We already covered how he fleeced his best friend Turb. Left him on the side of the road for dead. So we already saw how good a friend Faulkner is. But what about him getting $40 to spend on old Jay Ajayi?
Yeah. He was really rubbing that in my face when he scored that damn touchdown in overtime. That was about the time Faulkner was real confident.
Oh, man.
And I think within like 30 seconds of that, like Shazier limped off the field. And he's like, Shaz is out. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man.
This might be.
And I think my text to him was, "We're not worried. I got some 3 o'clock heat." And boy, did we deliver.
This might be a hot take from what the tenor of this podcast normally is, but I kind of think this was just a fluke week for Faulkner.
I agree.
I still like his roster.
I do too. I think he's got some really good pieces. I mean, Stephon Diggs drew a tough matchup against the Panthers. The Chargers played a really weird game against the Colts because I monitored it closely too because I had 2 Chargers going. So it was a really weird game, which Hunter Henry and Melvin Gordon actually outscored Phillip Rivers and Travis Benjamin. So that was something that worked out for me that, I didn't think it would work out that way.
Man, but Faulkner really fucked up his roster too.
Yeah.
He benched Doug Baldwin, who scored 30 points. I mean, none of these are like. I'm not saying these are terrible. Like we said about Hume, I'm not saying these are like horrible things that he did, but
Yeah,
I'm sure he did himself. Jameis Winston scored 25 to Rivers 11.
Yeah.
Damn, Jamison Crowder he had on the bench scored 17, and I heard Matthew Berry was like big on him this week, is what everybody's saying on ESPN. Matthew Berry just called this week, so I mean it wasn't out of the question that you would fire that off, but I don't think he could afford to. I mean, you might have been worried about Carolina's defense against Diggs. But I mean, I love Diggs. I would have probably played him still. I think.
Well, if you're going to put Crowder in, you would have put him in over Tajay.
I mean, you think, yeah, but at the same time, he would have put Baldwin in before Crowder, anyways, obviously. But
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but at the same time, I get how he came up with Tajay Sharp because Oakland's defense has been so horrible this year.
Right.
Just turns out that Mariota is a bust.
Oh, you're calling it, huh?
The Mariota era is over. They should have kept the first pick and drafted Carson Wentz. It could have been Wentzasee right now. The Wentzasee Titans.
They're doing it's like watching Vince Young again. Like they got him out there throwing fucking bench routes on 7-step drops out from under center. Oh, that's not what he does well.
Man, he was straight garbage in that game. I mean, you couldn't fault Faulkner for playing the Chargers against the Colts. We thought that was going to be big money too.
Oh yeah, like I said, I mean that game just went in a really weird direction. I, I really thought that game was going to be just. I mean, I didn't even think it was going to be a scoring fest. I thought the Chargers were just going to rout their ass. I thought it was going to be like 38-10 or something like that.
Yeah. Let's go on to the one we've all been waiting for. Shiloh Lake Tourism Game of the Week.
Boom.
We got picnic spots at Shiloh Lake this weekend. $30 for an hour.
Shiloh Lake Tourism got some mail this week about the selection of the game of the week.
Some hate mail. They thought Momo versus Mo Monster U.
Yeah, he was going.
That was a good ending, but that was not a good game. That was not a heavyweight bout like this one was.
No. McJomahay keeps rolling. 176 to 151.
I mean, behind you, McJomahay is the steadiest team in Pantheon, right? Are they the second highest scoring team?
Hey, yeah, I would think he is. I would think he's right behind me.
I would think so. Old McJomahay is 507 to DF's 509. Yeah, he is right on your heels.
So there you go. I mean, it's pretty clear.
I mean, we've seen it before. Guy can slap together a good team over on that potato farm. They play good football.
They got good spuds.
Got good spuds. They had hash browns for breakfast, baked potatoes for lunch, and sweet potatoes for dessert. So this one was never really in doubt, was it? No, it kind of was over from before it started. Once was Groff and Watt both combined for 5 points on Thursday night, and then I mean that was just terrible. But the nail in the coffin, Julio scores 2 points. I mean, Ross said it best in a group text to us earlier this week when Julio and J.J. Watt and Gronk combined for 7 points collectively, you're not gonna win too many football games or something. You ain't gonna win many ball games.
Big news on Watt.
Yeah, done for the year, right? Or for
looking that way, he says he's heading to the
IR. Can they bring him back after 8 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, I think he has a designation to return probably, but It's like you were saying earlier when you and I were talking off camera. Watt hasn't really been that big of a contributor up to this point anyway, so I don't know how much he's actually going to miss him.
Yeah. I mean, he did have really good game last week. 17 and a half points. So he contributed in Ross's one win, but I mean, the blow is that he doesn't have that spot that he had last year filled out, where he had the best defensive lineman filled in. Is the Rat King dead?
No, I'm still not willing to call the Rat King dead.
We're going to ask this every week until somebody admits that the Rat King is dead. Nobody wants the Rat King to come haunt you in the middle of the night.
I mean, you look at his team and what they did. I mean, Devontae Freeman looked like he did last year. DeMarco Murray went crazy. He got a really good game from his defense. What's Jarrell Freeman's linebacker rank?
Jarrell Freeman is linebacker number 4.
So, I mean, he's been balling. Cyprin had a great game.
Yeah.
And Cyprin is actually, even though we don't talk about it a lot, he's kind of one of those money backers that you talk about. I mean, he plays down in the box a lot.
Oh, yeah? Is that why he's always been that really good? He's one of those guys that's up there that nobody drafts, and then somebody picks him up.
Like the Rat.
Like the Rat. He's number 4. He's got the 4 D-back right now. His defense is pretty stout still. If he can pull something out at D-line.
Well, I got 2 really good D-linemen, Rat. Holler at me.
All out of play. What about McJom, though? Let's talk more about him. What are you thinking?
He had his wide receiver, his New York Giant wide receiver connection is working out splendidly.
Couldn't have worked out much better this week. 19 and 18. He had a pair of 26s to lead him, McCoy and Jarvis Landry. He's always got somebody to pick up. He's always got somebody to pick up his dud players. Like Cooks had a bad week this week. But he just has a stable of guys just scoring consistently. I got to tell you, I like McJom's team.
I do too. He's got a strong squad. Real strong.
He's really making CA eat his words about that wrong Vikings linebacker he's got.
Man, I can't believe he picked the wrong Vikings linebacker.
The wrong Vikings linebacker. Well, hell, CA, you picked the wrong Seahawks quarterback. We're even naming this week to the shit on CA week. We shat on Faulkner in week 1. You shit on me last week. We're shitting on CA this week.
He had it coming. He knows it.
Knows it.
Got a pretty good game from You Like That?
Yeah, that's the other thing. He's got another thug coming back off suspension too by the name of Tom Brady.
John's kind of a You Like That kind of guy. I could see John doing You Like That after a church softball home run.
I could.
You like that? It's a Corey Pig. You like that?
Any more thoughts on the game of the week?
No, not really. I mean, there wasn't a lot of drama in this one. I think the better team just handled its business and kind of. I would like to see who inside that condo is. Like if John is just really reminding Ross about this every chance he gets.
Really, I bet he is. So John's pretty much got grandmother's favorite wrapped up, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be anybody that can compete with him. I think that bread pudding is his.
I mean, he just needs a win over Brad to clinch it. He's already got the 2 other wins.
I think he's got it in hand.
If somebody will beat Faulkner this year, Faulkner's still got it officially.
I love how Faulkner just entered himself in this contest.
He stole it. He claimed it fair and square.
I guess he did. Them Wilkes boys let it happen.
They let it happen. He changed his he changed his team name to Grandmother's Favorite, and that inspired about 4 different Instagram posts on our Instagram. And that's how you make a story run.
That's right.
Faulkner's always in the Pantheon news on Instagram. Yeah, that Paragate scandal over the summer stirred up all his grandmother's favorite controversy. All the time is getting trade alerts.
Faulkner stays in the middle of it.
Yeah, he's like the Kanye West of Pantheon Cup.
Yeah, that's right where he needs to be. Pantheon needs him to stay right in the middle of it. He makes it a little more entertaining.
He spazzes out kind of like Kanye when it comes to fantasy too.
Yeah.
He's going in about 100 different directions on that group text. And I get texts, just random trade offers from him, and I'm thinking, man, has he text every 15 other people in this league?
What about him texting us about Tevin Coleman during the Monday night game? That was his version of "How, Sway? How?"
Yeah, that was hilarious. He was so pissed that we didn't push that Tevin Coleman trade through.
You don't know the answers. You ain't got the answers.
What about Doris Milling Player of the Week? Who's it going to be? Got any nominees?
Whoa, I didn't really think about this. Let's see here.
I mean, Marvin Jones is the obvious nominee. High scorer on the high scoring team, 38 points. But, you know,
What if we gave it to Dan Quinn? Can we do that?
I'm not sure coaches are eligible for Player of the Weeks. I don't know if it's been done before.
Well, Dan Quinn gets the Thomas Drugs Soda Fountain Coach of the Week.
That was definitely Jordan Game 6 of Dan Quinn right then. Clutch.
Boom.
But I got a serious nominee in the big upset of the week. Terrell Pryor, 31 points. Adam Young knocks off the number 1 team in the land. Probably the biggest upset in Pantheon history.
Yeah, I think I like Terrell Pryor right there.
Is that a
I
bigger?
like Terrell Pryor that award. I mean, what else does the guy got to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Terrell Pryor. Is
Boom.
so you agree with that one?
Yeah, start the engraving.
All right. What about we'll send him his Doors Milling feed bag in the mail. Um, is that the biggest upset in Pantheon history? I think
I
that.
think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I mean, that's. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the last time. Yeah, that's. I mean, Chance being number one overall, best record, most points, and then to get beat by somebody that we're telling to build for the future.
Well, it's kind of like one of those because I've got another option for you to pick from, but it really depends on whether you think the bigger upset is like the Appalachian State beating Michigan out of nowhere that year on the field goal block, or
This
with
is to me losing to Brad in the championship, isn't it?
yeah, or if it's like the Giants upsetting the undefeated Patriots. If you feel like that's the bigger upset, if you're that kind of guy, then it's Brad versus Joey.
Yeah.
I think those are your only two options.
Yeah, those are probably the two biggest upsets in Pantheon history, and I guess you're right. It does come down to what you're saying,
I mean, it was
but
dubbed. I mean,
it's
it's named in Pantheon fantasy lore forever is the legend of Brad versus Goliath.
it played out. It
I'm going to
happened.
go ahead and say it. I don't think Marshawn Lynch is as famous as he is if he didn't win Brad that championship.
There's probably some merit to that.
Well, we can break it right there.
Yeah, let's take a smoke break.
All right. A smoke break.
Smoke break.
I got to go down to the lobby to do this. Outside. Not in the lobby.
Your lobby boy.
My lobby boy. All right. You there?
I am here.
I'm here.
So we're gonna review the standings because we kind of skipped that,
Yeah.
but then we're gonna fly through the next week's games pretty fast since we talk more about the recaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we'll just say the notable implications and then we'll make a prediction and then move on.
All right.
And then we'll do trade machine and top 5 and go to bed.
All right.
You gonna bring us back in from the break?
Break. We're back. Let's do a little let's look at the divisions.
See how things are shaping up.
Which
Where do you want to start?
let's start with the worst division. Let's start with the Night's Watch.
The Gupton-led Night's Watch.
Gupton is in the lead. He's in first place of your division.
Do you think that hurts Faulkner and CA's heart when we say that?
I guarantee you CA and Faulkner have lost more sleep over this Gupton being in first place of their division than anything in their whole lives.
Can we talk about sweat equity? Do you know how many more combined hours that Faulkner and CA have put into this?
Oh,
Just like Ross and Brad winning them championships.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think that's... I mean, I think both of us don't feel like Gupton's going to win that division.
I don't think Gupton's going to win the division, but it's a great story right now.
It is a good story. I mean, he's got a 30-point lead in the scoring, too.
Yeah, he's the scoring leader too. I mean, and like we said, it hasn't been a fluke. His players are playing really well, and I don't know that they're going to slow down, the ones that are playing well.
Yeah, and to your point that it's not a fluke, he's also had the most points scored against him in the division, and he still has the best record.
There you go. Gupton is for real. Like I was going to say, that I know Kirk is usually our Vanderbilt avatar for Pantheon Cup, but Gupton leading that division was like when Vandy was leading the SEC East that one year under Deuce Johnson. And game day was in town. So I don't know. I think he's got a real shot at it. But really, my hot take of the division is right now, I kind of think Faulkner's going to win that division.
He's my pick as well, still at the moment.
At the moment, I've changed up a few times in this division, and I don't know, a few more weeks of this from Gupton. I mean, he's got 50 in the bank, like I said about Kirk. A few more weeks of this, and I might change up again.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I mean, I still think if I had to pick right now, it'd be Faulkner.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to stick with Faulkner.
So we'll go to the third worst division, House Stark, which I am the crowning jewel of.
The crowning jewel. Real interesting interesting division. It's just
it's kind of like the AFC East. You got the Patriots, and then you got everybody else.
yeah, I don't know. I think Torino, Rex Ryan, and the Bills of the House Stark have something to say right now.
Yeah, I mean, John Robert, he's only 26 points behind me in the scoring race.
When do you guys play each other? Week 12? You're in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a big one coming. Let's just hope I'm resting players by then.
I'm a big believer in these in numbers and math. I just feel like it's gonna even out for him. He's really gonna come on strong here.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you can see, like, based on the fact that I'm the highest scoring team, I mean that tells you I have a good team. But the only reason I'm 3-0 is I've had a low amount of points scored against me. There's reason to be optimistic there. I've been at 170, 171, and 168, so I've been within 3 points of my score every week, which I feel like I'm kind of resting on my laurels there. I've got some 180, 190, 200 point games coming, I think. So, I still think, I can be even more dominant, possibly. But, who knows? I mean, as I learned last year, I mean, it just takes a couple big injuries, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. I'm still counting out. I know Brad had a good week, but I think we're done with him still. We're definitely done with we're definitely done with Ben.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. We're going to go ahead and say that either John Robert or I win the division. But does House Stark produce any other wild card teams?
Besides you and John Robert?
Yeah. Is there more than 2 playoff teams in this division?
No.
I don't think so either.
No chance in hell.
I think Brad really is probably in the top half of the league. I just think he's so far behind now, which I don't know. It's still early, but I mean, he's got 461 points. I mean, that's not.
He's not. I mean, far be it for me to defend Brad right now, but here you go again with he's so far behind. It's 3 weeks into the season now, and it's still not too late.
Well, no, it's not too late, but I mean,
I'm just saying you were giving this to me last week, and now I'm 1 game behind all 3 of the guys in my division.
well, that's all I'm doing is trying to spark Brad reputation.
I bet you are. He's so far behind. We got a new segment on Stick Talk. It's Joey so far behind of the week. Oh, he's so far behind, though.
Oh.
Who you want to hit up next? Dothraki
Casterly Rock.
Casterly Rock.
House Lannister.
He's
Adam Wilkes. So Adam Wilkes and Gupton lead divisions. An expansion team and Gupton.
not only an expansion team, the one we had pegged as the worst one.
Oh, yeah.
In what many experts thought was the best division, I think, before the season.
Yeah, I think we were saying that.
We thought Rat King and Jeff were going to have big years, and they're 3rd and 4th. This is wild.
Yeah, this division to me is the most wide open.
You think any four could win, or you still count
Yeah,
Adam?
no, I still think all four could win. I mean, Adams the second highest scoring team in that division, so we can't just be like, oh well, let's just forget about him. Can't do that again. I'm not apologizing to Adam more than once this year.
Apologizing. Oh man, you know who? I feel like Kirk is really maybe the team to beat right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's we're kind of having to eat our words on Jeff a little bit, who I still think's pretty good. Okay, let me ask this question. Does every team from this division go to the playoffs?
All four teams.
It could happen.
I mean, yeah, it could. I don't think it does.
There's
We
some
already gave
like,
playoff spots to your division.
what?
We already gave 2 playoff spots to your division. I don't think all 4 go here. I think it's 3 maximum from Lannister. What do you think? Do you think all 4?
I mean, realistically, no. But I think if there was a division that would have all four, well, no.
No, there's one more. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Let's move on. Move on to the Dick Riders.
The Dothraki Dick Riders. I think this is what I was going to say. I think your division has 2 and no more than 2. I think both of you guys are playoff teams. If I had to pick right now, I'd say John Robert and Joey make the playoffs. I think either House Lannister or Dothraki is going to get 3. The other one is going to get 2, and Night's Watch is going to get 1.
Yeah, that's the most likely scenario. I agree.
But yeah, back to your question. There's this. I think our division is the most likely division to get all 4.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's whether you believe in, even though the standings show Adam up top, it still sounds like we think he's the worst team in the division.
Why? Why are we gonna do this again?
For some reason, that's what that kind of felt like just then.
It's exactly what it was. There was no deal. We're just assuming that's what I was saying. He's the second highest scoring team in the division. And we just apologized. And now we're just doing it again. Like, well, he's fucking terrible. He's not going to win the division. Let's not be kidding ourselves.
I think it's between. So if you think that, then it's whether I have a more likely shot or him. Or you might say you or him, I guess. Leave and go.
Yeah. Yeah, your division is the toughest top to bottom. I mean, I'll say that.
Yeah, still number 1 on the power rankings for those keeping score.
Shut up, Kentucky.
Last place. We're only 1 game back of everybody this week, though. A couple teams took shots. I mean, Boob looks very beatable now.
Yeah, Hume took a big hit because he's going to need every win.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to get in the playoffs.
That's true. That was one he could have stolen. Whereas Chance, even if Chance had a really good week, he might have still lost that 180. He could have lost 189 to 188 or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about everybody else, but there's a new call in the Dothraki Dick Riders this week. And he goes by Spud. Call
Big
Spud.
call, Spud.
That's who we're gonna call the division leader in our division championship is the call for the next year.
That's perfect. Perfect. And ours is obviously going to be the King of the North. Are you there? Hello. Tyler, where did you go? Tyler. Tyler, I can't hear you. Tyler, I still can't hear anything if you can hear me. It's just dead silence. It's not even white noise. It's just, there's nothing.